Update 4 on Super Typhoon Usagi, Philippine name Odette, currently located very close to the Batanes Islands in the Philippines right now, with winds of 150 miles per hour and much stronger gusts as well. A pressure of 926 millibars, current position is 20.4 degrees north, 122.8 degrees east, which puts it in the Luzon Strait right now, very close to those Batanes Islands in the Philippines right now. Moving towards the west-northwest, expected to pass very close to the southern tip of Taiwan on its way to China as a Category 3 or 4 storm, and eventually making landfall in China, possibly as a Category 1 or 2 typhoon, maybe near Hong Kong and Macau as well. Signal 4 warnings in effect for the Batanes Islands, Signal 3 warnings for those islands further south, the Babayan and Calayan Islands, Signal 2 warnings in effect for northern Luzon, and Signal 1 warnings in effect further south. Now, Signal 4 warning means wind speeds of more than 150 miles per hour. Those are definitely expected. In southern and central Taiwan, we also have typhoon warnings there as well, and an orange typhoon warning at the moment for the coast of China. We'll probably be seeing typhoon conditions occurring there very soon. So here are the probability percentages of tropical storm conditions in the Philippines. First of all, you can see how they're higher towards the north, but still for the parts of northern Philippines we'll definitely see some tropical storm conditions occurring here, very likely. For the other areas as well, southern Taiwan especially, we'll be seeing some strong winds here, typhoon strength, possibly the case in China as well, but tropical storm conditions extremely likely for large parts of Taiwan and a lot of the coast of China over the next 4 days. The probability percentages of typhoon conditions, you can see here the northern tip of Luzon will probably see some typhoon gusts at least, possibly some sustained winds, but off those islands offshore the Philippines, we've got a very high chance of typhoon conditions occurring there. The same thing goes to the southern tip of Taiwan as well. The very southern reaches of that will probably see some typhoon conditions. If not occurring already, we'll see them very soon. Along the Chinese coast as well, I think we should definitely see some typhoon conditions occurring at some point when the storm moves over towards landfall or as it makes landfall. So this is the current sea surface temperatures. You can see around the storm at the moment, still fairly warm, around 28-29 degrees at least, where the storm's located. Those are likely to drop off slightly, but not really in any danger of getting below the threshold for tropical cyclone development. So this is what the models are saying. The CMC, first of all, having the storm moving into China and then moving southwards over Hainan and then emerging out in the South China Sea, possibly regenerating, with another monster system off to the east as well, which is Invest 98 at the moment, staying out to sea by the looks of things. The GFS model also takes Usagi into China eventually, but dissipates it pretty quickly, if not over China, over the Gulf of Tonkin, with that other storm as well towards the east forming and becoming fairly intense and then moving off towards the northwest, eventually turning post-tropical near Japan. So this is the latest satellite imagery. You can see how a big storm it is right now. The cloud cover extending all the way across that channel between Taiwan and the Philippines and over either side over the land areas as well. You can see how the eye has definitely shrunk over the past few hours as well, so we could be seeing a bit of an eye wall replacement cycle possibly taking place soon, which would certainly weaken the storm. That will probably be the gateway for it to weakening further as it moves towards China. So that's possibly a bit of good news there, but nonetheless it's still a very ferocious storm, and even though the centre of it's not passing over any significant land areas, we'll probably be seeing some very inclement conditions, typhoon conditions on either side of the Luzon Strait, and heavy rain as well, which could lead to flooding over those mountainous areas that you find in Taiwan and parts of northern Philippines. So let's take a look at the world tropics then. You can see what's happening right now. It's fairly quiet elsewhere. We still have Invest 95L in the Atlantic over the Gulf of Mexico. We also have Usagi, of course, and the Invest 98W, which is also in the Pacific, possibly forming over the next few days, and also Invest 91W as well, which is located just to the northeast of that. So this is the Pacific Ocean. You can see a bit more clearly here what's going on right now in this wide shot of satellite imagery. Nothing going on in the Eastern Pacific. Out in the Western Pacific, you have those three distinct areas that could form over the well, we have Usagi of course, which has formed, but there's two other invests as well which could form in the next 48 hours. So 2013 compared, and it's the 69th busiest season on record, but also the second least busiest at the moment. 15 tropical storms so far, 5 typhoons, and 3 of which reaching Category 3 status. This is the first one to reach Category 5 intensity, but has weakened since, but is still a strong Category 4 storm, a very dangerous storm out there for all those regions concerned. So this is what it looks like on the website right now. It's possibly slightly out of date. We'll be updating it very shortly throughout this evening. That's probably the place to go to get the latest updates in between these videos that we'll probably be doing every twice a day until the storm moves over land in China for the next day or two. You can track the storm at the website force13.com/stormtracking.html, and indeed any other storms out there, including post-tropical storms and invests. They are presented with the overview map with the tables at the top and bottom showing their intensities and indeed any warnings that they pose to land at the moment. Obviously this one at the moment, Usagi, posing many threats to land right now. Taiwan, the Philippines, China. Eventually we'll be looking at Hong Kong, Macau as well as time goes on. You can also find us elsewhere on the web, Facebook and Twitter. Just search Force 13. You should find us fairly easily enough. And please do, as always, show your support by doing the usual means of engagement, by liking, subscribing, commenting, favoriting, or indeed anything else that you may think of that I may forget about. But as always, any positive feedback and indeed questions are greatly appreciated. I'll answer your questions if you wish, if indeed I can answer them, but hopefully I will. But the next update will be coming up probably at around, not too sure actually, maybe sometime in the afternoon on Saturday the 21st of September 2013. But until then, that's all for now.